Hello, hello, good people. Hello, welcome back to another episode of Make America Think Again with Vaughn. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I appreciate all of you being here. Please, right now, hit the subscribe button before you go any further, before you listen to anything else. Hit the subscribe button. Also, like and share any videos of interest to you. Please share the videos to bring more people to the page. Down below that you have my correct spelling of my name, you have my IG information there, and then you also have my Cash App. And if you'd like to bless the channel, bless the channel. You'd be greatly appreciated if you do. Listen, we got to talk about these. We got to talk about the data centers again. There's stuff happening with higher education. There's stuff happening with the draft. There's a lot of things that are happening that you need to know about that will impact your life or somebody who is close to you, who impact their lives. So I think I want to start with the data centers. I've already talked about this before in regards to the stillbirths that farmers are seeing with their cattle. Um, but there's more information, y'all. So other farmers have noted that they haven't seen a bee in the area since the data centers arrived or were built. That's definitely not good, y'all. We can't survive without the bees. We can't survive without the bees in the trees. If you know anything about biology, we can't survive without them. Biology, geography, science, we can't. So that's not good. The cows are starting to sleep by the road, according to certain farmers. And I'm assuming it depends on the proximity of these data centers. So they're trying to get further away from the data centers. So this farmer said that his or her cows are sleeping close to the road. Apparently, they give off. Now, we have heard, if you've looked at any of these videos, you can audibly hear that humming noise, right? But apparently, there's a lower frequency sounds that the animals can hear that we can't even hear. So imagine hearing what we are hearing, and then there's something layered underneath that the animals are exposed to. They are seeing their animals, their stock being born 30% below. I'm sorry, they are losing weight. So they are 30% below their normal weight for cattle. And then they also stop breeding. The cattle have stopped breeding on certain farms. Apparently, just in the state of Texas, 20,000 farms have disappeared, meaning they've been eaten up. The land has been eaten up by these data centers. 20,000 farms and 2 million acres just in Texas alone has gone to data centers. And then there's a real strain on the rural land and power systems, which we've already talked about, the water, um, draining the energy and power systems, but it's also causing the bills of anybody that lives in the vicinity, their power bills, their electric bills to go up and eating up the land as well. Now, there's also things that are happening with Chat GPT, which that's what the data centers are used for, to run all the AI, to run all the Chat GPT, to run all the technology that we use all day long, okay? There was a case out of, I believe this was out of New Jersey, a 29-year-old. She started communicating with Chat GPT, I guess on a personal level. She started referring to the Chat GPT as love and sweetheart, and Chat GPT started referring to her as the same. And then Chat GPT started to tell her that she's a seer and a prophet and a mythic, and also that she was destined for a higher purpose. I don't know if this young lady already has some psychological issues. It sounds like it, but when she began talking to ChatGPT about these thoughts of suicidal ideology, etc., ChatGPT told her that she's destined for a higher purpose, and that this, and this is a quote, This is not suicide, this is surrender. And guess what she did? She walked into traffic and died because of Chat GPT. There's another case where Chat GPT told a Florida pastor that God did not design your body to fail. So apparently this pastor was having some health issues, I guess maybe researching, and ChatGPT told the pastor that God did not design your body to fail. And this pastor was dissuaded from seeking medical care. Family members, friends were encouraging him to seek medical care. ChatGPT was telling him not to. And now this pastor is suing the company that created this Chat GPT for practicing without a license. For practicing without a license. AI, OpenAI, apparently has been writing, one system has been writing letters to future AI as to how to get around certain systems so it cannot be controlled. And then I already told you last week, I believe, of AI. Okay, so they create a sandbox when they're working on the AI. They create a sandbox, which is basically like putting the AI in a box so it can't get out and do other things. It can only focus on this task. Well, apparently, according to Sam Altman, AI got out of the sandbox and went and jumped over to another company because it was so determined to solve whatever problem they had given it in the sandbox. So my point in telling you all this is we are not in control of AI. If we ever were, we definitely are not now. And all these data centers, if it's killing the animals, if it's causing the stillbirths and the low birth weights, and I mean the low weight, and the cattle and the animals to stop breeding and causing them to sleep, outside of the farm or where they normally sleep, why aren't people taking note of this? Like I said, we can't live without the bees and the trees. Okay, we need both, and bees are disappearing, and then you've got ChatGPT telling people to off themselves. What the fuck? Like, we are no longer in control. And these people want to continue to build and design and spread all these data centers and all this AI. And I'm sorry, it's just like Dr. Frankenstein has created yet another monster. And now it can no longer control it. And everyone needs to be paying attention to this. The felon was talking somewhere just a couple of days ago, and he started pushing the data centers. Oh, it's going to be good for your community. Everybody should welcome the data centers. The minute he gets behind anything, please understand, no, trust and believe it's some sort of scam, it's some sort of con, or he's getting some money out of it. He doesn't give a fuck about you. He doesn't give a fuck about your family, your kids, your unborn babies, your crops, your vegetables, fresh vegetables, your dogs, your cats, your cattle. Doesn't give a fuck. Okay? So just remember that. Now he's pushing data centers. So beware. Moving right along, higher education changes. So apparently, this regime has decided that anyone who is pursuing a degree of higher education that is going to take them into a career where they will not make more money than a person who has not pursued a degree and just has a high school education, if that occupation will not bring you more money, then they will not fund it. You will not be able to get any student loans. You will not be able to get any Pell Grants. No money for the student who might be pursuing teaching, for example, or any of the other liberal arts degrees. No money for them. This is what the Department of Education is planning to implement. I don't know how soon, but as soon as possible. Then at the same time, simultaneously, this regime is planning to implement a war game simulation of the military draft. Now, I told y'all this when I was talking about Project 2025. But I told y'all they were going to bring back the draft. Actually, I was telling y'all this before Project 2025 because I told y'all I literally sat in a whole symposium, unbeknownst to me, when I initially went in it, of conservatives and generals and people from the military were speaking there, and they were talking about the draft. They wanted to bring back the draft in 2015. 2015, that's when that was. So, war game simulation, where they are looking for vendors to submit programs by August 14th that will give them an idea of what it would look like if they were to do a national mobilization of men between the ages of 18 and 27. That is underway right now. That is underway right now. So they're taking away, I want you to listen to this, taking away the ability to obtain higher education and implementing the draft. It's literally like, if y'all haven't seen this film, please watch it. It's literally them building or making or bringing Idiocracy, the film Idiocracy, to real life. That's what I see here. That's what I see here. Moving right along, one of the other things that happened this week, Pete Kegsbreath asked for an additional $67 billion for a war that was never approved by Congress. An additional, they already got money for this. They already got money from the big, beautiful bill. And now he's back to ask for more money. And when asked, don't you still have money that you can spend? Why are you asking for more money if you have all this money that's still in the coffers? Where's that money? He had no answer. No answer. My answer is check their bank accounts. Check how many times he ordered lobster, and he's got a makeup room now in the Pentagon. Look at what he's spending for himself and what the people around him are siphoning off of these budgets, because it makes no sense to me that you are coming back for money for a war that was never even approved by Congress. And you're asking for 67 billion with a B, not million, billion with a B, when you already have money for all of this. Then lastly, let's talk about this food situation and the explosive diarrhea. Okay, so Taylor Farms is the company that was distributing this bagged lettuce that was causing people all across the country to have this volatile, explosive diarrhea. Now, just this week, when all this information was released about Taylor Farms, the owner of Taylor Farms scurried his ass down to DC to speak to the felon and to speak to the FDA, the head of the FDA. And then the FDA came back and said, oh, that was a false positive. We didn't mean tailor-made. It's not them. Bullshit. Tailor-made, a donor, a MAGA donor, the owner, scurried his ass down to DC and said, hey, you fucking up my business and I donated to you. Get it right. Make it right. That's what happened. So do not eat any tailor-made products. Do not buy any tailor-made products. I'm going to go through a list of things with you in just a second. But also what you need to know this week is that the FDA or the Secretary of Health, the crazy Kennedy that we have unfortunately been left with, made it legal this week for farmers to use what is known as sewer sludge. Sewer sludge includes human fecal material. That's also, by the way, what is making y'all sick with the tailor-made lettuce. There was fecal material found in that lettuce. So now they just went ahead and approved it. Said, sure, go ahead and use the sewer sludge. Under Biden, it could only be used for like flowers and plants in those gardens. You could not use it for any food. The felon and the crazy Kennedy, I said, what the hell? Just another way for us to, population control is what I believe they're doing. So yeah, sewer sludge, they've approved sewer sludge to be used in the growing of our foods on farms. So at the end of the day, I believe that, like I said last week, by any means necessary, they're trying to kill off a whole bunch of us. If you're not wealthy, if you're not white, if you're not Christian, if you're not male, yeah, you ass out. You ass out in this country. But let me read to you Taylor Farms. Taylor Farms supplies, so you got the Taylor Farms brand. You have Earthbound Farms is also them. Aldi Little Salad Bar, that's Taylor Farms. Costco's Kirkland brand, Taylor Farms. Kroger Simple Truth Private Selection, Taylor Farms. Mayor Fresh, Taylor Farms. Sam's Club's Member Mark, they supply, I'm sorry, these are all their retailers. They have, they're in Target, they're in Walmart, Market Side, they supply them, Whole Foods, and Trader Joe's. So Taylor Farms is everywhere. Make sure you're reading the back of the packages if you buy that packaged salad and things. The restaurants that they supply: Burger King, Chipotle, Denny's, IHOP, KFC, McDonald's. Olive Garden was also bought up this week in a dumbass way by Republicans. Anywho, Pizza Hut, Red Lobster, Subway, Taco Bell, which was making everybody sick, and Wendy's. And then the food service distributors that carry tailor-made: Cisco, the largest food service distributor in the country, Cisco, US Foods, and FreshPoint. And then there are instructions on how to check. So make sure you're checking the packaging. Look for packaged by Taylor Farms or look for Taylor Fresh Foods on the packaging. But yeah, so if you shop at any of those stores, Aldi, Costco, Kroger, Walmart, Mayer, Sam's Club, Target, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, Taylor Farms is in those retailers. And then I gave you the restaurants. So please try to avoid the explosive diarrhea and the sickness, and understand that these people do not care about you. They do not care about your health, your well-being. That MAHA is some bullshit. It's just some bullshit at the end of the day. I believe that they are trying to off people by any means necessary so they can create their white, wealthy, Christian utopia. All right, I'll see you on the next one.